Alright, so the MLP project got bumped up. The original order... You know what? Just put everything down for a second. Let's take a breath of fresh air. In with the good. Out with the bad. Roll the shoulders. Chuck Norris. Air guitar. Ric Flair. Woo! God bless America. I hope you all had a good weekend, because I sure as hell did. Now back to what we were saying. So the MLP project got bumped up. Originally it was supposed to go the BA Shredder, the Prophet, Slayer, and then MLP. Well, what happened here? So, I don't know, maybe 18 months ago, something like that. Somebody I know, I was like, hey man, I can smell some bullshit coming down the pipe. You should probably get some firearms. He's like, no, you know, someday in the future I'd like to get in the hobby, but, you know, not anything to worry about. Let's fast forward a bit. So then February comes, he's like, hey man, can you still sell me some firearms? I'm like, yeah, of course, you know, just come into the shop. Sold him on some pistols. I'm like, hey, you should really consider getting a long gun. Yes, pistols are great. They fit in places long guns won't. But I mean, if you're really talking about some sort of defense, a long gun is the way to go. Let's fast forward again. Now we're under quarantine. Riots are starting to happen. I'm like, hey man, I'm serious. You need to pull the trigger on a long gun. He's like, yeah, I want to, but you know, I'm kind of up in the air if I want to go with an AK or an AR-15. I'm like, are you some sort of communist? Why would you even consider an AK? Yes, if you had a collection and you were just adding that to your collection because it's iconic, I get that. But as a primary defense weapon, that's just stupid. You need to go AR-15. Let's fast forward till just recently. Okay, so I shot the AK, and you're right, that thing's a garbage can. Ergonomics are terrible. It's heavy. The accuracy wasn't too hot. I mean, yeah, point blank range, I wouldn't have a problem, but if I wanted to actually hit stuff far away, I don't know if I just wasn't using the sights properly or if it's just really that inaccurate. I wasn't doing well. I also shot an AR-15, and my God, I was hitting everything within 300 yards. Just tearing it up. Can you still get me that AR-15? I was like, I'm like, dude, you missed that ship. Like, that thing done sailed. You're not going to get an AR-15. Not on the new market anyway. Not without paying some stupid, ridiculous price. You're like, well, come on, man. Just pull something out. Talk to your distributors. Make something happen. And I tried. I really did. Contact my distributors. I'm like, I don't really care. I just need this thing under $1,000. That would be ideal. Like, under $1,000. Calls me up. He's like, oh, I found an M&P Sport 2. It's $8.99. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, I mean, it's not a bad rifle. The Sport 2 isn't. You're lacking a lot of the desirable features. You're not getting a chrome line barrel. You're not getting a sighting system. You're just getting a front sight. So you still have to put money into it on top of that. I believe that has an AR-15 bolt carrier. Just pull out the carrier and take a look. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, looks at it. He's like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's missing those desirable features. Please, can you just sell me one of your AR-15s? I mean, I'm getting desperate here. Everything I see is priced out through the roof. They're just asking ridiculous prices, and it's garbage. Now that I actually have a list of the parts I should be looking for, almost none of them have it, and they're almost all charging like $1,000. Just please, sell me one of your AR-15s. Just one. Come on. Just hook a guy up. Well, and he's a straight guy, so I was like, you know what? I'm eventually getting rid of my Bushmaster anyway, because one, I've shot every conceivable possible video I can make with it, and that's the point of me having firearms on this channel, is to make videos. Two, even if I did come up with a video, because that company is no longer there, it's kind of pointless, because the search results are just going to be terrible, because that company isn't there. There's not going to be new people looking for the Bushmaster. I tell you what, I'll sell you my Bushmaster. And no, I'm not saying the Bushmaster's a bad firearm or I've changed my mind about them. They're actually excellent. It's a complete system for a very reasonable price, very high in the value market. But like I just explained, there's no point in me owning one anymore. There's going to be no search results for it in, say, a year, since the company is no longer there. And I've already shot every video I can think about it. So I wind up selling my Bushmaster. Now, eventually, at some point, I was going to get rid of it anyway, because of the reasons already discussed. There's no point in having a firearm that isn't searchable, and I can't come up with a video. And I seriously cannot think of any more video topics on that particular firearm. And I was going to replace it with the MLP, which will be this. I mean, I don't even have this assembled yet. I already got one video up. So after I get it assembled and things progress on, I'll probably make like 30 or so videos out of this bad boy. And it's a build project, so I can test a bunch of parts. So what exactly is the MLP? Well, it stands for My Little Pony. And this is an M4A1 replica. Now, original plan, I was just going to buy an FN M4A1 because I'm an FN fanboy, and that would be pretty cool. But again, because it's a pre-manufactured firearm and it's not a build, there's a very narrow window of videos I can make with it, and then that firearm would have been useless to me. So we're doing a build. I'm actually doing this on a PSA lower receiver. Now the concept is different. Yes, the A2 sights are phenomenal, and let me explain why. So with your A2 sighting system, 0 to 300, very realistic. There's practically no adjustments needed. You can just flip between the big peep and the little peep, and you are good from 0 to 300. Now it has a ranging wheel on it. So now you can take or make direct fire, depending on your skill level, from 300 to 600. And then indirect fire. Now I know there are videos out there where people shooting 223, 1,000 rounds, but we're trying to be realistic here. We're talking about a 16-inch barrel with iron sights, which I believe has an 11 MOA front post. Come on. Basically, past 600, you'd just be like, pop, 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 pop. Wait to see the splash. Oh, I'm short. You know, aim a little bit different, shoot some more, maybe aim this way a little bit. The point is you just be throwing rounds down range, hoping that all the stars come together and one of them happen to land on your target with just enough kinetic energy to cause some sort of damage. So realistically, the A2 sighting system, 0 to 600. Now this is good, like I was explaining in the Bushmaster video, if you're only buying one AR-15. It doesn't really excel from 0 to 3, and it doesn't really excel from 3 to 6. You get a nice even spread across the whole spectrum. So when you have just one AR-15, that's pretty nice, because it allows you to hit all these different ranges. And that was another reason why I'm going to be ditching the Bushmasters, because I don't need that anymore. I have enough firearms where I can have a specific firearm for 3 to 6, for 5 to whatever. So the new one, I'm going to be designing differently. So instead of going with the A2 sighting system, I'm going to be going with a flat top, but I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of everything past 300. We're just not going to worry about that. Yes, with the system, indirectly I could hit 5. Now, I know, again, with a red dot, if you practice your holdovers, you can most definitely hit 5, but it's just not very realistic. Unless you're in like a zero wind environment and you practice it constantly, you're probably not going to hit. The 0 I'm going to be going with, because these are the different zeros you can run, is a 100 round 0, because most of my shots have a nice tight group. Yes, I lose a lot of my long range ability, but who really cares? It's not what I'm building this rifle for. So we're just going to pretend that nothing ever exists past 300. Yeah, in a pinch, I can most definitely pop some shots out that way. We're going to be using 100 rounds, 100 yard 0, and we're going to make this a 0 to probably 250 rifle. Yeah, you could go 3, but I'm going to go with a nice fat dot so I can get quick target acquisition. So pushing it that far is a little bit tough. So what changes will be made over the Bushmaster to the MLP? Well, one, we're going to throw the echo trigger in there. This way I pull the trigger once and it fires, and I let go of the trigger once and it'll fire. This way at close range, I can just lay down lead if I need to. We're going to be shortening the barrel up 2 inches. We're going from 16, well, 2.5 inches, to 16 to 14.5, and then I'm going to have the flash hider pinned and welded on. I actually purchased this barrel. This is not the barrel I wanted. Not even close. What I wanted was an FN barrel pinned and welded. But what I want and what's actually available right now are 2 totally different things. And these people actually have a barrel available. So I'm going with them. I'm not happy about it because it's just some off-name brand I've never heard of before in my life. But they give me what I want. Does it really matter? I mean, as long as it's within like 4 MOA, it will definitely serve my purposes because I'm shortening up the range I'm expecting the rifle to perform in quite a lot. But what this barrel has is a pinned-in flash hider. It's welded, so you do not need to throw a tag stamp on here. You do not need to run a pistol brace. And it's even got the M4 cuts, which is important because that's what I'm building, is an M4A1 clone. Now with the handguard, I've kicked around a lot going with just your standard polymer handguard, but I really think the M4A1 clone, the look has to have that cack rail. It's a quad rail. It's stupid heavy. It's ridiculous. Completely obsolete. But I believe it's important for the look of the rifle, so that's the rail we're going to be going with. We're going to have the Knight's Armament backup iron sight on the back where it's got the range where you can just adjust it, even though that's completely useless because that would be way beyond the accuracy expectations for this particular rifle. And we're going to go with an aim point. I'm going to go with one with a 7-year battery life. So you just turn it on and it's good for like 7 years. Because I've noticed running an EOTech hunting that not having it on all the time is actually a liability. You wouldn't believe it, but it's actually a liability. So we're going to have the red dot on all the time. Once a year, I'm just going to change the battery. We're going to go with a 6-position stock. It'll have what the hell is that thing even called? It's a sling swivel, which makes absolutely no sense to me. There's already a sling swivel on the gas block, okay? But they added a second one off to the side. I don't really understand the purpose, the concept, or the advantage to having it there, but maybe I'm just totally missing something because I've never run one like that before. So we're going to run it like that and see what happens. But yeah, we'll have the sling swivel off the side. Military sling, I don't know actually what slings they're running right now, but whatever sling they're running or whatever sling is standard issue, that's the one we're going to run. I think this project's going to be a lot of fun. The barrel I got, obviously, it's chrome lined because we're looking at a heavy abuse barrel. Will it be accurate? I don't know. Does the accuracy really matter? No. We're looking for lightweight. Because again, we're shortening the expectations of the rifle and bringing it in within like 250 yards. That's all this rifle is for. If I have any intentions whatsoever to shoot any farther, I'm going to pick a new rifle. Now, we're not going to throw on like packs or lights or all that happy crap because I'll build... There's another rifle on this board yet that I don't have written down. It's called the Nightmare. That will be specifically for night fighting. That's where my white lights will be. I'll have night vision gear on there. It's going to excel because, yeah, I can make this also work at night, but then I'm sacrificing some of my daytime performance. The weapon gets heavier. It's more cumbersome. So this will be my day rifle, and there'll be one in the future, which will probably have a pinned-in silencer, and it'll have my night vision crap, all my night fight stuff, and that will excel specifically for night fighting. Yes, you could use it in the daytime, but it will suck. Yes, you could probably use this in the nighttime, but it would suck. I'd rather make the system more... What's the words I'm looking for? More laser focused on a specific job. Because the more wider range of jobs you have your weapon system do, the more it sucks across all of those jobs. If you pick out a specific job and you're like, that's the job I want to do, and that's what I'm going to build the weapon system around, it will do really good at that job. It just will do shitty at all the rest of the jobs. But that's okay, because right now, the way things are sitting, I'll just have a different weapon system for each and every job. Anyway, if you'd like to help support the channel, I got my Patreon right there. I also have affiliate links in the description down below. I'll probably run an affiliate link for the aim point I plan on running. Maybe some other stuff, who knows. But even if you don't buy what that link is for, just clicking on that link and doing the Amazon shopping you're going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you went there off my channel. I also have my merch shelf running where you can get some pretty cool t-shirts. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.